Welcome to this explainer on Chapter 8, The Music of the People. Look, today we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating. Indian folk music isn't just background noise or simple entertainment. It's literally a living, breathing reflection of daily life, deep devotion, and, get this, a super powerful tool for social change. So, if you've ever found yourself tapping your foot to a regional tune and thought, hey, what's the story behind that beat? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's explore the soul of our country through its sounds. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. We've got 5 main stops. First, what exactly is Lok Sangeet? Then we'll hit songs of community celebration, dive into devotion and daily life, look at music for social reform, and finally check out the instruments of the regions. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. What is Lok Sangeet? Let's lay down the foundation.
So, Lok Sangeet. The word Lok literally translates to the people. It's the music of and by the people of our country. This isn't something perfectly polished in a fancy, distant recording studio. It's crafted by everyday folks to express raw, real human emotions, which we call rasas. And it's basically a massive audio time capsule. Through these songs, generations have passed down traditions, info about local festivals, and even details about their daily jobs. It tells us exactly who we are. And there's this brilliant quote from the ancient text, the Sangeet Ratnakar, that really hits the nail on the head. It says, "The diverse tastes and choices of people across different regions of India reflect the country's rich cultural mosaic." Essentially, because our landscapes and our daily struggles change so much from region to region across India, our art changes right along with it. It creates a truly spectacular cultural mosaic.
Moving right along to Section 2, Songs of Community Celebration. Let's take that philosophy straight out into the vibrant fields.
Just imagine the pure energy radiating from performers in Assam during the Bohag Bihu festival. Picture the rhythmic claps, the thumping sound of the dal, and those incredibly energetic synchronized dance steps. It's not just a performance for people to sit and watch quietly. No way. It's a communal explosion of joy. It marks a very specific time of year and shows a really profound, deeply rooted connection to the natural world around them. A perfect example of this is the legendary Assamese track Bihu Bihu Lagi Se Gat by the great Bhupen Hazarika. Songs like this are so much more than just catchy melodies. They're actually an essential way for the whole community to literally sync up with nature's rhythm. The lyrics celebrate the passing of the seasons and just pull absolutely everyone into that shared, joyous rhythm. All right, on to Section 3, Devotion and Daily Life. Because, music isn't always about massive, loud community festivals. Sometimes it's incredibly intimate. Think about the huge spectrum of music we experience in our lives. On the super intimate, quiet end, we have lullabies, or lullabies. These are purposely soothing, gentle songs meant to help a restless child finally fall asleep, usually sung in the quiet of a home. But then, contrast that quiet rest with the high-energy, totally communal devotion you'll find in Sufi Islamic qawwalis or Bhajan's Song in Devotion to Lord Krishna. One brings quiet peace, and the other, it elevates the spirit of an entire gathering right up to the divine. We can actually anchor these ideas to real iconic voices. Take Geeta Dutt, for example. She famously brought the traditional, soothing, lyrical lullaby to life on the big screen in films. Then there's Rushanara Begum, a Kolkata-born singer. Traditionally, qawwalis were performed by groups of men, but artists like her show how these forms naturally evolve, masterfully performing them today as female musicians. And we definitely have to mention Lal Ded, or Laleshwari, a revered Kashmiri mystic. She composed Vox, which are these short, deeply philosophical poems that have completely shaped regional music and poetry in a massive way. Let's transition to Section 4, Music for Social Reform. This is perhaps the most transformative function of music covered in this chapter, the urge for real structural change. I want to introduce you to Annamacharya. He was a legendary 15th century Telugu musician, composer, and saint. And honestly, he's a phenomenal example of how someone can wield music to protest unfair conditions and actively advocate for a better world. The sheer scale of his work is almost hard to wrap your head around. He composed 32,000 sankirtanas, or devotional songs. 32,000! But he wasn't just singing empty praises. He used this massive platform to fiercely oppose the social conditions of his time. In fact, he was among the earliest prominent voices to actively fight the social stigma against untouchables. He understood that a powerful song could travel much further and pierce hearts a lot deeper than a regular speech ever could. The proof is right there in his lyrics. Take his famous composition, Brahmam Okate. He sings, Brahmam Okate para Brahmam Okate, meaning the absolute is one, the supreme absolute is one. Through really simple, repeatable, and deeply philosophical lyrics like that, he delivered a totally empowering message of brotherhood. It proved, way back in the 15th century, that music can be a loud, undeniable voice for absolute equality. Bringing us to Section 5, Instruments of the Regions. Let's look at the physical tools crafted by human hands that make all these unique sounds possible. The geographic spread of these instruments is just incredible. We have the kopong from the high altitudes of Ladakh. Then there's the janj, played in places like Assam and Odisha. The nagada from Jharkhand. And of course, other incredible regional instruments like the chenda and the tarpo. Every single one of these is built using local materials, specifically engineered to produce a sound that perfectly matches the landscape and the spirit of the people who live there. When the people of Jharkhand play the nagada, you can almost feel that booming, resonant, deeply rhythmic sound vibrating right in your chest. It perfectly captures the whole spirit of Lok Sangeet. It's loud, it's proud, it's entirely community-driven, and it completely commands your attention. It is literally the heartbeat of the region made audible. So, to wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a question, a direct challenge really, based on everything we've just uncovered. We've seen how a quiet lullaby can bring peace, how a massive festival song unites a whole village, and how thousands of devotional songs could challenge a totally unjust social system. So, what change would you like to see in your own school or community? Take a page from these historic artists and ask yourself, how can you use your own voice, your own poetry, or your own music to bring about that change today? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the music of the people. See you next time.